Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing. This is the demo lap for the Brands Hatch special event. And as you can see, we're in the FF car first, because we're doing all 4 drivetrains. So this is the FF car, this is the Audi TT going round for a demo lap. So we're over the line in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Into the corner, you can really throw it in the front wheel drive, abuse all the curbs. Right out to the outside, now coming up to Druids under the Palmer Bridge, onto the brakes, down a couple of gears, into second, around that corner, power on a bit later, in the front wheel drive, because you lift off and you get all the turn in, as soon as you put the power on it understeers. So again, being very gentle on the throttle out of that corner, plenty of curb usage on the outside. Not so worried about track limits in this one, because the game will punish you for it, so because the track limit penalties are on. So going up Surtees, down the hill towards Hawthorne, down the dip, carrying up all the speed. The Audi TT, a very fast car in a straight line, into the corner now, round Hawthorne, lovely line through there, and then now into Westfield, using tiny bit of the curb on the inside, not too much, otherwise the car will hop. Now coming down to the bottom of the hill, Dingledell, or Sheen as it's now known, and over the curb. You can really abuse the curb in the front wheel drive, into Sterling's, round Sterling's, nice line through there, out coming down back towards the bridge where we started, coming towards the last corner, and round the last corner through Jim Clark, and coming up towards across the line. Looks like quite a neat lap, this one. The Audi TT, the best power versus performance and weight distribution in the class, so that's the Audi TT 127.8, as you can see on the left hand side of the screen. Now for the FR car, so I've chosen the Jaguar F-Type for this one. Not as confident in this car yet, but we'll see how we go around the lap just to show you. So in towards Paddock Hill Bend, you'll see I'm a lot more steady with the Jaguar, very calm and collected through there, and up towards Druids, round Druids. Now you see I'm a lot more careful with the Jaguar. I'm not throwing the car in as much as I were in the TT. Over the curb, Graham Hill Bend, up and over the curb, plenty of curb usage there, and now coming towards the very tight uphill, and just using a bit of the curb out of the corner. Now coming down towards the straight, the Jaguar again, like the TT's got quite good power to it, so getting the power down, working his way into 5th gear, coming down the hill, down to 4th, possibly 3rd, I might even do it in 4th, yeah, do it in 4th, power on out, nice and smooth. The key to FR cars is smooth, whereas with the FF car you can throw it in more or less and do what you want with it, just lift off and it'll turn in. With the FR you've got to be a lot more careful, and as we go through Sheen and then down towards Sterling's, again, smoothness is key with the FR cars, because all the weight's in the front and it's sort of like a pendulum effect. So, and if you get the car, if you get anything wrong in front wheel drive, you floor it and turn into your slide. With FR, you apply a tiny bit of power, and then just try and correct into the slide, and don't put full power down until you're fully recovered. So across the line then in the FR, 129.1. Again, I was doing 28s in the other cars, so I need to work on my FR a bit. Now onto the MR, which is the mid-engine rear drive. So these cars are very darty into the corners, but not very balanced around long continuous radius corners. So I'm in the Porsche Cayman. Let's go for a lap down up towards Paddock Hill Bend, onto the brakes. You see how the car darts in, with it being the MR. Just, we can really throw the car in, and with the MR you've got to really be careful on exit, because you don't want to have the car twitch too much on the exit as you get the power down. As we go out of Druids, nice little bit of use of the curb there. Purple in the first sector, faster than the TT, so you can just see that the just a tiny bit, only 0.002 of a second, but very close between the Porsche and the TT through the first sector. Now this is where the TT will gain, because see how careful I've got to be around there with the MR car. Can't just go throwing the car in, otherwise it'll just go unstable and it'll twitch everywhere. Smoothness is key to any rear wheel drive car, especially an MR car. I'll be really careful. Down to Hawthorne then, you see we're 3/10 down on the Audi's lap, just because of the top end that they give the Audi, because the Gran Turismo have boosted the Audi yet again on the power, so hopefully we'll be bringing that down at some point. Plenty of curb usage there, can get away with it in the Porsche. It's quite a stable car for a MR. Into Sheen over the curb, but again can use plenty of the curb, can hop, skip, bounce this car, can really take it by the throat. and see we're 4/10 of a second down on the Audi now, because the Audi just a lot better just on that initial turning and on agility. Into the last corner then, just nice and steady through there, get the power on nice and early, and smoothness is key, and we're coming up across the line to finish the MR lap in the Porsche Cayman, and it's going to be a 1:28.742, so not a bad lap in the Porsche there. So now we're on to the Lamborghini Huracan in 4-wheel drive. This will probably be quite a popular car in use in 4-wheel drive. So coming across the line to start a lap. See, I've already got quite good speed onto the straight with the Huracan because of the 4-wheel drive. So into Paddock Hill Bend, you see how wide I can go, and then I can throw the car in, use the curb, flat on the throttle, just let it 4-wheel drift out to the corner. Quite easy to handle this car. And you can, even though the back end does squirm quite a lot, you can recover it very easily, just like that. You can feel the back end starting to go. So we're only a 10th down on the TT, so it's not too bad there. And it pays the price for stability anyway. So going into the left-hander up the hill, very careful into here. You can sort of throw the car in, take it easy mid-corner because it can understeer out. You'll be amazed at the amount of understeer that a 4-wheel drive car can make, but just a little lift of the power and it will all come back to you again, a bit like the front wheel drive. Now with the 4-wheel drive, if you lose control, best thing to do is, well, just panic really, because you've got to just judge it as it is. Do you floor it? Do you lift off? There's not really any sort of way to recover a 4-wheel drive really. You've got to use your initiative at the time. So again, we've gone through Hawthorne and Westfield, nice and steady through there, through Sheen and then down towards Sterling's, round Sterling's, just nice and gentle through there. Let the car do what it wants. Really, the 4-wheel drive more or less drives itself. Really, you just got to show it where you want it to go. But lovely car, beautiful car to handle. And now we're coming to the end of the lap. This was the demo laps from LPB Racing. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been useful. And we're coming across the line, and it's going to be a 1:28.4. Thanks for joining, guys.